It is the RIOT Podcast, the Tuesday, January 10th edition. Take it away, Isaiah.
It's all you.
All me.
I don't think he's ready yet.
No, I was not ready, but it's okay. Some of the things we talked about today, a man that ended up ending things with a woman because she didn't like Marvel.
Oh.
Yeah, some divided opinions on that.
Well,
I mean, it was a speed date.
Yeah, but I think, again, it's also because I think in the clip, a lot of people were talking about how it's just weird since he would be considered maybe the nerdier one.
The less attractive one.
And
Why?
yes.
Because his
He
top
was
thing
clearly
is
the less
he's
attractive one of the two.
obsessed
Yes.
with Marvel?
And so
does that make somebody nerdy?
No, I think
She was.
physical, she was the more
Okay.
attractive
Yeah.
overall
She was the
person.
more attractive one, and so it was kind of weird that traditionally you would think someone who was maybe out of the two, not considered the traditionally attractive person, that they would let the more attractive person go without giving more time.
So they're criticizing him for that?
Yeah, like, hey, dude, you should have just given her a chance.
Wow. So everybody's showing how shallow they all are.
Well, yeah, that's how it is in speed dating. It's a shallow
I
time.
mean, yeah, when you just sit down across from somebody, there's only so much that you can take off the rip. And one of the first things is, do I find this person attractive?
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
So we talk about The Box, a British show.
The button.
The Button.
The
okay.
Button.
Which has a big box button.
Does it?
Yeah. That's all right.
We talked about that. We also talked about the new Ant-Man trailer and how we feel about that, considering it's about a little over a month away.
Yeah, I can't wait. Have you bought your tickets yet?
I have not bought my ticket yet.
Have you ever pre-bought tickets for a movie, as in like before the movie is in theaters, you're like, I got to make sure I go?
I have never done that.
And if you did, it would be a long time ago, back when like movies were still crazy busy.
I mean, people still do, it's still an option for you,
They
and
do,
they still
but,
push it.
I mean, like if you go back to the Black Panther stuff and then the Avatar stuff, like even those haven't been like fully crowded on release weekends.
Yeah.
So I just don't think you have to pre-plan as much.
Yeah, and I don't know, like to me, obviously if you want to go opening weekend, if that's really important to you, it's still, I guess, a good idea to pre-buy the tickets. But for me, it's always just like, it's not like the movie's going to disappear.
No, but it
I'll
was
just go
more,
see it later.
It was
like the
more if you
event.
wanted the better seat.
Yeah, that's
like
right.
if you're really particular about what seat that you get, then you sometimes have to order in advance.
Yeah, I mean, I buy the tickets on the app when I go, like when I went to Violent Night.
Yeah.
Who wouldn't? Who just walks into the theater and it's just like,
I can't imagine.
Give me tickets to whatever's open, wherever there's a seat. I'll sit in the corner where an open handicap seat that nobody's using.
Sure.
Okay, I'll take that as long as I get in.
Okay, it's not like everything I watch is TikTok, but literally everything my examples are. There was this one guy, and he was making a TikTok, and he was going on to the site to purchase a ticket ahead of time, and it was for Avatar 2, and there was no one else in the theater, just the one guy.
Just the one guy.
So he was just making it look like he was purchasing the seat next to him, and then the whole other theater would be empty. But, it was just something funny.
Wow.
Like and then growing up, obviously, I went to the movie theater like all the time, as
Yeah.
most people did 10 years ago. But did you have like a go-to spot where your family would always sit in the theater? Because for me, we would always sit in the very back row.
Oh, like the top row?
Like the very top row is where
Yeah.
my family would always sit. And like thinking back on it now, I don't know where the premier spot is in the theater, but I feel like it can't be the very top
I think
row.
that's because they were embarrassed of you guys.
Yeah, they had to.
Because
You'd misbehave
normally
and they'd
parents-
kick you out of there.
Parents would be like more in the middle to the bottom because my mom never wanted to walk up the steps. We were always at the bottom by like the railing.
Yeah.
But you never sat on the floor. You were just
Oh, no.
always starting to go up. But we didn't always, you weren't like going up to the very top because that's where the noisy people were.
Yeah, it was us.
It depends on the theater. I like sitting where you can put your feet on the rail.
Yeah.
But I also like sitting right in front of the rail, which is a lot of the handicapped seats, and then there's a few that you can just have.
The normal ones, yeah.
seats. And because you got so much space there and you don't have people next to you. So that's actually...
But those are there for people that need to be with their
Yeah.
friends that need the handicap seat. What are you doing?
But there's not always handicapped people
Still, it's supposed
at
to be
every
open.
movie. In fact, it seems kind of rare based off of my experience.
Yeah, there's just not.
I was just like, because I sit in them every time.
Yeah, because if they're
that's
open, then I go steal
He's like,
them.
there's no,
You're the
he's like, there's
worst.
10
no one.
minutes into the movie, I
Oh my
moved
gosh.
out.
It's probably because they're sitting in the very top row where the only seats that were available.
Well, now we know that's your problem.
Yeah.
We talked about that. We also talked about a survey that says that bachelor parties are changing in the way that people view them and what they want when they go.
And some, would you guys say my advice for the bachelor party is good?
Yeah, I think so.
Good
I think you
bachelor.
gave good advice.
I
In
think so,
case
and it's
you
not
get
just-
lucky enough to plan somebody's bachelor party.
It's not even, I think, for bachelor or bachelorette parties. I just think if you're doing a weekend with friends or just
Yeah.
anything, it's different than it used to be.
Yeah, you got to
definitely
read the
is.
room. It depends who you're going with. You got to know who you're going with and what they want to do. And if you have a group where it's split down the middle, half the group is going to be upset with how the trip turned out.
And the other half shouldn't have been invited.
Yes, exactly.
There it
exactly.
is. All right, well, I think that's enough to get you ready for the show today. Hopefully you enjoy it. Make sure you text and say hello at 877-2-RADIO-U and put that you're a podcast listener.
And we'll catch you next time.
Bye.
See you guys.
It's the worst of the riot on Radio U.
You guys ever heard of, it's a British show, a British game show. It's called The Button.
The Button.
Yeah.
I need to see a picture because sometimes I get pushed British shows on Facebook, like, clips and stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't know if this one
I've
is
seen this one.
Have you seen it?
Yeah, it's on Snapchat all the time.
Is
the
it?
Snapchat Discovery page, yeah.
Okay, so in The Button, I don't think it's always dating, but in this case, it's two people where they're matched up. It's like a blind date basically, and then when the button lights up, like one of the people presses the button, and then you get
and
like a
then
person,
they
and
leave or
then
not?
and then if you want to end the date, you press the button, and then it goes to the next person, like kind of speed dating. Okay, so we have a guy named Donnie. He presses the button. Woman comes out. Her name is Maria, and then the button will like ask conversation starters, and so the button, like it has a voice. The button says, "Fun fact about Donnie. He's a Marvel nerd." And then it asks, "Are you into Marvel?" And the woman says, "You know what? No, my brother watches them, but I just can't get into anime."
Oh, no. She's wrong.
And Donnie presses the button right away.
Oh, he gets rid of her?
Yeah.
Oh, don't do that. I mean,
What?
you could have taught her. She could have learned.
Yeah.
So you think he should have given her more of a chance?
Well, if it was reversed, if it was like she dumped him or discontinued the date for like a superficial reason,
Yeah.
then everybody would have been on top of her for not giving him a chance.
True.
Like if he wasn't as attractive as she was.
Yeah, but this is different.
It's different because it was on
This is
him.
but it's about her personality. It's about who she is as a person. It's not about her looks.
Is it because she said anime or is it because she just hasn't watched any?
It's definitely the anime
Okay,
thing,
I
right? If you
agree.
That's
think
what,
Marvel's
well, then
anime?
I think that's more. I think that he should have been more open because she said anime. Because that means she just has no idea what it is at all.
Yeah.
Because I would have been like,
And-
actually, I think you might actually like it because I wouldn't consider it anime if I'm being honest. If you don't like anime, that doesn't mean you don't like Marvel. If I'm being honest.
Yeah, but I'll give her when she says that I just can't get into anime. If I just was on a date with somebody and that was the first thing they said,
You would be out.
that'd be a positive. I'd be like,
Yeah.
yeah, anime sucks. Sorry to anybody who likes anime, but to me, that's what on a date that would be a green flag for me. Keep going. So she's not into anime. Maybe she just needs to learn a little more about Marvel. But then again, if you're super into Marvel and you're on a date with somebody who doesn't get it,
Maybe it's not worth
just
it.
why beat around the bush? Just move on. There's
What? I don't feel like that's a reason that
What?
you have to be with somebody.
Isaiah. There's plenty of women out there that are into Marvel. It's
But
pretty common.
if Marvel is the thing that you're like, you know what? That's the deal breaker for me. It's going to be a while before you find somebody you really like.
But it was his number one fun fact.
That's his number
according
one
to the
thing.
button. Yeah,
He's
so
like, you know what?
He's really into it. He needs somebody he can talk to
A
about
supportive
Marvel.
I feel like
someone.
there's a lot more important things in a relationship than do you also like Marvel?
but not to Donnie.
Clearly not to Donnie. I mean, he couldn't care less if she's not loyal, trusting, a good communicator. None of those things
But you
matter.
can't ask
Attractive,
that
any
as
of
your
those
first
things.
question in a speed date.
He just wants to know if you like Marvel or not.
Isaiah
The
comes
rest
into
of
a
it,
speed
just
date.
go.
He said that he is extremely into Marvel. His dog is named Marvel. It's a big deal for him. So he was, just willing to get rid of her very early on in the speed dating protocol.
It's like if you went on a date and if you were on a speed date and it said the button said, "Fun fact about Isaiah, he's super into the Buckeyes. Are you into Buckeyes?" And the woman said, "No, I'm not into Buckeyes. I don't like chocolate."
Yeah, like thinking it was chocolate.
Actually,
and peanut
that
butter.
yeah.
I mean, this is worse than that. So,
Yeah, fair.
you would press the button, wouldn't you? You'd move along.
If she said that she wasn't in the Buckeyes yet again, it doesn't matter to me. That's okay. I think that's fine.
I think
She
he's
doesn't
more,
even know what they are.
I
though.
think
he's
if
more
we-
mature than Donnie is.
I
That's
just
what you're
think
not
if-
accepting.
I think if we don't have the same hobbies, that's fine. That means I'm going to get more alone time down the road, which is I'm really going to appreciate. I'm going to be like, oh, you don't like Ohio State? I guess on Saturdays I'll watch the game by myself.
Well, she was gracious. She responded by saying, yes, I'll give it a chance. Maybe, but they're not meant to be.
Yeah, I guess not. Well, I mean, they'll both be fine, I think. But talking of Marvel, though, we got to talk about the other Marvel news that's out there.
Oh, the trailer that came
The
out
trailer
yesterday?
from last night. We'll
Yeah.
get to that next.
There's
You won't hear a show like this anywhere else. And that's probably for the best. The worst of the riot. Radio U.
I got to tell you guys, I'm actually happy after having time to reflect. I'm happy that the college football national championship game was a blowout.
because you didn't feel the need to watch during the whole thing?
Yeah, because if I stayed tuned in, it was a close game. I'm dialed in, TCU and Georgia back and forth. Who knows what'll happen? And the third quarter rolls around, and we're in the midst of a great game. And all of a sudden, in a commercial break, I'm sitting there munching on whatever, and a new trailer for Ant-Man comes on. I would have had no choice but to scream and exit the room by throwing myself down a flight of stairs
You don't
because I can't
wanna
have it
watch 'em.
spoiled. But fortunately, I avoided that situation. Last night, a new trailer for Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania premiered during the college football championship
But
after everybody had tuned out.
I feel like the national championship committee has a headache with all their commercials and trailers.
Their advertisers cannot be pleased.
Man, if you were an advertiser and you paid for a more premium spot towards the end of the game, no one was watching by
Yeah,
the
nobody saw your premium spot that you paid extra for.
Doritos are probably getting on the phone. They're like, tell the referees to trip the players or something. Come on, we got to make this
Get
a close
this better.
one. Yeah, but I obviously avoided the new Ant-Man trailer. Ant-Man comes out February 17th in theaters. But did you guys watch it?
I'm watching it now.
I mean, it is on YouTube. So,
Yeah.
Wait, you're watching it while you're talking?
Yeah, I can do both. I can multitask.
I was watching it too in the beginning of you speaking. Yeah.
So
A
what
lot
did
of
I
times we
say?
don't listen to you when
What
you
did
talk.
I say? What did I
We
say?
can't be
when
sure
I-
exactly what you said, but I will tell you about the trailer. Now, I saw it.
Let
It
me
looks
turn closed
great.
captioning on. Hang on.
Yeah, it looks good. It looks really good, actually.
Does it spoil it for you a little bit?
No, there's only one character that would be spoiled. I mean, they explain what the plot is during the second one. The first one, you don't really understand what the plot's going to be.
Yeah.
This one, after you watch it, you understand what the plot's going to be, and it looks really good.
Well, the first trailer that came out, later last year, everybody got pretty excited for the new Ant-Man, and I think this one's a good follow-up.
I don't know what happens in the first trailer. All I know is that there's a dreamy version of Elton John's Goodbye Yellow Brick Road that always gets stuck in my head every time I go to the theaters, and that comes on and I have to close my eyes. But
so you don't get spoiled.
yeah, but this one, so it showcases different characters and stuff.
I mean, there's just one. There's not really that many.
Ant-Man and the Wasp are in
Yeah,
it.
obviously, the whole Ant-Man crew's in it, and then they show who is expected to be the villain in it.
And does he look intimidating?
Why don't you just watch it?
Yeah, what do
Will
you
you
want to
just
know or
watch the
not?
trailer?
Because I want to know how it makes you feel. I don't want
There's
to
no
know what actually
feelings.
happens.
There's no feelings about it.
I mean, I can't really depict him, or else you may figure out who it is, and I don't want to
Well,
ruin
I
it
know
for
who
you.
it is.
Oh, you know who it is?
I just don't know
then-
what he does. Or
Oh, what he
anything.
does? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they
I
explain
know-
what the plot is,
Yeah.
and it seems as if it's one of those times where it's oh, can you trust the villain or not? You probably can't.
Probably not.
If I had to
That's what makes
guess.
him a villain, isn't
Uh-huh.
it?
That's a good villain. Yeah, why don't you just watch it? It's no big deal.
Yeah.
Not watching
Everybody's
it.
doing it.
The
Why don't you
movie
just
comes
do
out
it?
in a month and a week.
You can hang on.
I can make it that
February
long.
17th. I'm excited.
Yeah. So
Now, this will be one that we'll probably see in theaters because it looks
yeah?
so good. Yeah.
Are you gonna watch? You gonna catch up on all the other Marvel stuff before it comes
All
out?
I need to do is just see Black Panther, and then
That's
I'm
it.
good to
That's
go.
all you've missed.
Yeah.
She-Hulk. You watch She-Hulk?
I don't need to watch She-Hulk.
Miss
He's only
Marvel?
counting. He's only counting.
I don't need to watch
movies.
Miss. I only am counting things that really matter in my mind, and there's certain things that I've just X'd out as things that don't
But
matter
don't
to
you?
me.
But here's the problem, and I say this as somebody who never finished Moon Knight. There's several Marvel.
You never finished Moon Knight?
I never finished Moon
And
Knight.
Moon Knight's an important
That's
one.
one in the many list of Marvel shows I haven't finished. But the villain in this movie, I do know that he is introduced in Loki.
Yeah, I saw it.
So I know you saw it, but
he's
if you
just
didn't
telling
see
you-
Loki, then you might be lost.
He's
with
just
this.
telling you She-Hulk is not worth it.
Yeah, She-Hulk and Miss
Everything else
Marvel.
is
You don't
fine.
know because there could be something in this movie or something in the next
Listen,
movie.
it's worth the risk.
They're not bringing She-Hulk into any of these important movies. They're keeping She-Hulk and Miss Marvel to their own thing, I think.
I really am avoiding spoilers by not watching She-Hulk at all.
Yeah, that's why I don't want to watch it.
Spoilers and other reasons, too.
Find more Riot content online. riot.radiou.com.
It is that special time of year where Oscar Mayer reminds us that they have a Weinermobile that'll be out and about, and they need somebody to drive it.
Oh, yeah. This is normally the time because they're trying to find drivers for the summer season. So they have is it a competition? Is it a search? But if you want to put yourself in the
turn
running.
it into a search. They should make it a reality show.
Yeah, like a whole big competition.
Yeah. They call it, you'd be the hot dogger.
Nice.
Put that on your resume. It is a full-time 1-year assignment. They're looking for, this is interesting. I thought it would be just one individual.
No, I think it's a couple.
They are hiring 12 people
Oh, wow. That's a lot.
to be Weinermobile drivers.
Well,
this
maybe they
year.
have more than one Weinermobile. So, like,
That's what I was thinking too.
they're doing different coasts.
Which kind of ruins it in a way, but at the same time, it's just, it's just reality.
You'll get to visit more than 20 states, travel over 200,000 miles, go to 200 events throughout this year.
Now, obviously, if you know me, you know I love hot dogs. Oscar Mayer, they're near the top of the grocery store hot dog brands. The stuff you can get at the grocery store, Oscar Mayer might be the best. But so this might sound like a dream job for me, right?
Well, I don't think you can because you're already in media. Like there's always been some rules with it.
Yeah, well.
You have to be a college graduate, and you'll have to look it up. But I think there's a few.
Well, I also have to be. They're looking for people that are outgoing,
Is that not you?
friendly,
Oh, well, we can't do that.
enthusiastic.
No, never mind.
I'm not cut out
You're
for
gonna
this.
pass on that.
But I do have an appetite for adventure. I'm willing to see the country through the lens of a hot dog. So.
That's good. They call the condiments the pros of this. A competitive salary, expenses, benefits, and team apparel are covered by Oscar Mayer. I'm trying to see if there's anything else that you have to.
I mean, it says
Outside of just college graduate, I think they're saying you have to have a big appetite for adventure. You can send your resume and cover letter to them and try to get one of the 12 positions.
well, it's definitely one of those things where I'd love the benefits. I wouldn't love the work. I don't think.
I also just don't like people staring. And I feel like if you're in the Oscar Mayer Weinermobile.
Yeah. Oh, they're
They're
not
just gonna
staring at you. They're staring at the wiener.
I know, but you're in there and you're in the outfit with it and you go to the events with it. It's just a lot.
Okay, this is why you wouldn't be good for this job, Nikki,
you
is
would?
because you have to remember that you aren't the star. The Weinermobile is.
Oscar Mayer
Nobody's
is.
coming to see you, Nikki.
You're
They're
right,
coming to
never
see
mind.
the Weinermobile.
Never mind.
Yeah, so you wouldn't be getting a lot of attention at all.
All right.
And I just don't know if you can handle that.
Well, I just don't want to drive something down the road and have people honking at you the entire time. And then you have to be like, yes.
So that's how I am anyways. Constantly cutting people off, making people
And you're
upset.
used to it that you're perfect for this
Yeah,
position.
I guess so. Except, again, not outgoing or friendly or enthusiastic.
Well, you
so.
can learn that by the summertime.
Yeah.
So again, 12 spots
Develop
open.
that.
Only 12 people will win the coveted positions of the drivers of the Oscar Mayer Weinermobile.
Well, congratulations already. Pre-congratulations to those lucky Weinermobilers.
Hudson, Nikki, The Riot on Radio U.
You remember the movie Gladiator starring Russell Crowe?
I think I do, because that was like a big movie way back. And
Yeah.
I think, at least for his career, that is still the one that's always brought up.
Yeah, that's
For Russell Crowe?
Russell Crowe's one of his best moments, and also
Joaquin Phoenix.
a rare movie that was not only a blockbuster, it made a lot of money, and a lot of people loved it, and it was an Oscar winner for Best Picture. So, like, a critically acclaimed movie and a movie that had a mass public appeal.
Normally, you don't get both.
No, definitely not. And that goes back to, that was in the late 90s when that came out. And all this time, I didn't know this, but for a long time, there have been talks about Gladiator 2.
Oh, to do a follow-up?
A follow-up movie. And now it seems that Gladiator 2 is really getting off the ground. In fact, they've even picked a new star for the movie. So it's really getting somewhere. The reported star of Gladiator 2, as they get that going, is Paul. Do you know this guy? Paul Mescal? Paul Mescal? You know who that is?
I don't think so. Look,
Let's
another
see.
person we need to look up.
Okay.
Oh, I've seen him in stuff before. Yeah, okay.
What would I know him from?
I don't think you would know him from anything.
Normal People, After Sun. He's Irish. You know, the Irish Gladiators.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, yeah. He's supposed to be Russell Crowe's character's son in Gladiator 2. Gladiator, it's been out several decades, so can I spoil it? That the reason that Russell Crowe is
not back in the movie.
he got gladiated.
Yeah, he
in
was
the
not.
movie.
He was killed in it.
Yeah, so that'd be difficult to include him in any way that's not a flashback or as a ghost or something. So Paul Mescal. What?
I don't know.
Maybe his son is
A
seeing
ghost, he's seeing him. Okay.
I don't know. The mythology of
A dream
Gladiator
with
2.
Russell Crowe in it.
It's in Roman days, they probably believed in ghosts and stuff. I mean, we still believe it now. So it's getting somewhere is what it sounds like. So no better time than now to go back and watch the first Gladiator, even though, again, we just spoiled it for you.
I don't know. It's been so long for certain movies when they try to bring him back.
Yeah.
Like, what's better? Come back as like Gladiator 2 or just come back as like Gladiator, make a nod to the original one, but not really make it seem
Kind of reboot it, kind of like they do at the Planet of the Apes.
Almost like half and half.
Yeah, that might be better.
Because so much time has passed, it's just not as familiar to everybody.
Yeah, and I'm not the type of guy that thinks when they make a sequel to a movie that is beloved that I don't think that ruins the original, but then again, I also don't think it's the worst thing to sometimes just have movies that just stand alone.
Yeah.
Like every movie doesn't have to have a universe, doesn't have to be a franchise. Sometimes
I agree.
one movie is enough. And I don't know, maybe Gladiator 2 will be good whenever they make it, but then again, the first one was just fine. It was enough. So we could just leave it at that.
Now, there's no word on like when it'll actually be done, filmed. It's just still in the early stages.
Yeah, but Ridley Scott will surely be involved. He'd like to make he's the director of the first one. He'd like to make some money off of it.
And Russell Crowe's Ghost, according to Hudson.
The Riot with Hudson and Nikki on Radio U.
You watch movies that revolve around bachelor or bachelorette parties. Whenever they're depicted, it's usually like a raucous night of it's always called the final night of freedom. It's usually at a strip club or something.
Vegas.
Yeah. But according to a new survey, that's not what people actually want when it comes to bachelor and bachelorette parties. People want it much more toned down.
An evening in watching The Bachelor? No, what are we talking about?
I think they just want it to be less, according to this survey, less rowdy. Actually, people want to have a relaxing
Well, that sounds
bachelor
nice.
or bachelorette party. That definitely
Sure.
sounds like I guess maybe this is stereotyping here, but like I picture women would be having a really good time at a bachelorette party if it was like, we're doing a spa night or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, doesn't that
that's
sound
what you
like?
think? Just
Or
teasing.
going to
That's what you think.
either that or going to an axe throwing bar, one of the two.
Didn't you see it was trending a few months ago? Some lady was doing a bachelor party or bachelorette party, and she invited all of her friends over, like the bridesmaids and stuff.
Okay.
And they watched all the Lord of the Rings movies in order.
Ooh.
What?
That was
So
the
she was a
thing.
homeschooler, or
So she was,
Yeah, like what is this? What kind of a
that-
bachelorette party is this?
Yeah.
that was the evening, but they were all excited.
Looking at this survey, 2,000 adults,
Is that
none
not in
reported
there?
wanting Lord of the Rings to be involved in the bachelor or bachelorette party.
And it wasn't even the Amazon show; it was the actual older movie.
Oh my gosh.
Either of you guys, I know you've been to bachelor parties. Nikki, ever been to a bachelorette party?
No.
No? You don't have friends?
Well,
or
okay, first off,
Wow.
yes. But then also, second, I just think people don't want to do much anymore, like at least as intense. And then if you you don't want to say yes to being in a wedding because it's going to be so expensive and you will have to go do all the stuff.
Yeah.
That if you knew ahead of time it was going to be more relaxed and low key, then maybe you would be more willing to say yes if a friend asks.
You have the most recent experience with bachelor parties.
Yes.
What does that look like?
I think the best case scenario for me in the past has been invited to the bachelor party, not in the wedding.
Oh, that's perfect.
I'm there to have a good time.
Yeah.
I'm there to party, whatever, but I don't have any actual responsibilities on the wedding day, and so they can't be like upset with me with anything that I do on that day. It's very relaxing, and I still get all the privileges that the bachelor party gets.
That's smart.
Which is grand.
That means that they don't trust you.
Exactly. And you know what?
But
I'm
you're a
okay
lot
with
of
that.
fun.
I'm okay with
You're a
that.
lot
I'm
of
fun to
fun.
be there. I have to be there, but at the same time, just not with any actual responsibility. But I think I prefer my bachelor party a little bit more exciting, fun-esque, I would say.
I think the difficulty with bachelor, and I guess obviously I know much less about bachelorette parties. But the difficulty with bachelor parties is it's a group of guys. Usually, like most of them are friends, right? But it's oftentimes if it's everybody that's involved in the wedding on the guy's side, then there's like brothers that you might not know, and whatever. But there can be very different interests where some guys do want to have the wild night, especially like the married guys a lot of times.
Sure.
They'll be like, yeah, let's have a wild night. And other people have much different ideas where they want to play laser tag, or that's what my...
Do putt-putt or do something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just something much more chill or just hang out at a cabin or whatever. And so that's...
Playing laser tag at the cabin.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Playing
the
hide and go seek or
difficulty of
something.
bachelor parties, is getting everybody's interest to align and make sure that all these different guys who may or may not all be friends and come
something
from different
fun.
walks of life all have a good time.
That's why you have to be careful who you invite. You have to invite, depending on what you want the vibe to be, you have to invite people based off that. So if it's your bachelor party,
They got to line up with it.
yeah, you gotta invite the people that you want that vibe. If you know that they're crazy partiers or whatever, and you don't want a crazy party on your bachelor party, you probably shouldn't invite them.
Well,
But
they're
if you want to be more
saying
low key, you can do it that way.
That the old traditions of like those sort of parties are now considered tacky, and you were being expected to spend about $313 as someone who would go to a bachelor or bachelorette party, and now they want that down to like $100.
That's
So,
impossible.
That's it. They want it less.
That doesn't sound like
I
much
looked up a
fun.
flight last night for the bachelor party I'm supposed to go to in like a month. It's like a $500 flight. So based off of that
Yeah.
alone,
Well, stop having your friends
You're
and move
getting
away.
I know.
Let me give one last point on bachelor parties is because there's so many different varying interests. Remember, you got to make it a good time for the actual person who's getting married.
Yeah, sure.
The actual bachelor. That's what I tried to do with when I was planning a bachelor party. And then I got overruled by all the other guys. And it was a disaster because I didn't do what the guy wanted.
Sure.
And they all didn't know him as well. So I still regret that. And he still makes fun of me for it.
Aw.
But we're still friends. So.
Okay.
there you
well,
go.
that's good.
You couldn't have messed it up too bad.
Thanks for watching the worst of the riot. Since you made it this far, you might as well like, subscribe, and check out riot.radiou.com for even more riot.